welcome back to another tropical weather update with Hurricane 7. Today we're going to be going over Nana, Tropical Depression 15, and two more possible tropical cyclones in the Atlantic. Let's get into it. First, we are going to go over Nana. That is going to be the main subject of this video. Nana will likely peak at around a Category 1 to a Category 2 around the Yucatan or Belize. Then we have Tropical Depression 15, that will likely just be a fish storm out over the open Atlantic, possibly peaking at 40 to 45 miles per hour. Then we have newly formed Invest 91L just over the African coast. There still has a 50% chance in the next 5 days, but 0 in the next 2. Then we have a new area of interest that has appeared in the Atlantic today, and that is a 10-20% or a 10-10. I cannot quite remember, but it is unlikely to develop. But Invest 91L is very likely or quite possibly going to develop. Now let's get on with our main subject of today. That is Nana. I have its current pressure as 1,002 and not 1,000 at like the National Hurricane Center. Its movement west at 18 miles per hour, but I do actually have a different wind speed than the National Hurricane Center at 60, as I do believe that there was enough evidence within the recon data to support 60 miles per hour. And this is also satellite imagery. Credit to Tropical Tidbits for this image. Now let's get into the dry air, or at least the Saharan air in the Atlantic. And as you can see, really not much ahead of Nana. A lot of people say that just a little bit of dry air can kill off a storm. I don't think it can unless it's partnered with wind shear. I think people overestimate what they can do by themselves. I think they need to be combined to really do a lot. I do think they can weaken or halt the storm strengthening, though, so that could be a factor coming into play soon. And then, as you can see, basically perfect wind shear, max around 10 to 15 knots in the duration of the storm's lifetime in the Atlantic. Very high wind shear for Tropical Depression 15. Might become a tropical storm. That's a might. Pretty favorable wind shear farther back. There is kind of like a little stream of good wind shear leading into the Caribbean. But the Atlantic has really been taken over by high wind shear lately. Nana just so happened to get lucky with where it formed. It is in good wind shear, so it is quite lucky with that. Here's the tropical storm force wind probabilities for Nana. As you can see, they don't extend too far out with high probabilities. I don't know why it always is like this, like they expect a hurricane, but then they have like hardly any tropical storm force wind percent chances out that far. Makes no real sense to me, but it is what it is. Now let's get on to what I think this storm will do. That is Nana's current location. I believe that it will go on like this, become a Category 1 a little bit sooner than the National Hurricane Center actually quite a bit sooner than the National Hurricane Center expects. And I do think it will peak as a Category 2. Not a lot of people agree with this, but I think the conditions are favorable enough for this to occur. I am not expecting like 110, I am expecting a 100 mile per hour peak, but that is still quite impressive, and before it dies off over the Yucatan. Now let's get into the final thing for today, our PDA stage for Nana. This is if my predictions were to play out as is. I have a 3 on the wind scale, 3 on the surge, and 2 on the rainfall, leaving Nana with a PDA stage 3. Thank you for watching this tropical weather update. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for hurricane tracks and tropical weather updates in the Atlantic in the future. Thanks for watching. Signing off, Hurricane 7.